Who no go no know? This social media, I go show them pepper.
Everyone online envied Ifunanya's life, but what they didn't know was that everything about it was a lie. In a cramped room in Lagos, Ifunanya carefully glued the heel of her worn-out shoe. Outside, the streets were loud and unforgiving. This was her real life. Small. Struggling. Invisible, but Ifunanya had a special talent. She knew how to make people believe she was living a life she didn't have. The next morning, she walked into a high-end recruitment agency wearing a borrowed blazer and a confident smile. When the interviewer asked about her experience working for wealthy families, Ifunanya lied, and she lied perfectly. Hours later, the gates of the Oseji mansion slowly opened. It was less like a house and more like a palace. Madame Oseji stood waiting at the entrance, elegant, cold, intimidating. She looked at Ifunanya and said only one thing: in this house, we have one rule. Privacy. Break it, and you're out. Inside the guest wing, Ifunanya could hardly believe her eyes. Silk curtains, marble floors, luxury everywhere. For the first time in her life, she was surrounded by the world she had always pretended to have. Later that night, when the Osejis left for a party, curiosity took over. Ifunanya quietly slipped into the master bedroom. The walk-in closet was filled with designer bags, expensive gowns, and glittering jewelry. She picked up a gold clutch and smiled. Old habits are hard to break. Moments later, she set up her phone and pressed record. Wearing a luxury gown, she spun happily and said, "Welcome to my new home, guys. Hard work finally pays off." But what Ifunanya didn't know was that a tiny red light in the corner of the ceiling was blinking. She thought she was pretending, but in the Oseji mansion, someone was. She posted the video anyway, and now someone knows her secret. The next morning, Ifunanya quickly hid the gold clutch and her phone inside her small staff quarters. Her heart was still racing from the night before. While cleaning the chief's study, something felt off. She opened a drawer and froze. Inside were dozens of phones, old ones, broken ones, new ones. They didn't belong to the family. They belonged to other girls. As she turned to leave, something caught her eye: a diamond earring on the floor. Expensive, beautiful, dangerous, just one quick picture. She told herself no one would know. In the kitchen, the head cook leaned closer and whispered, "This house has ears." But Ifunanya wasn't listening. She was already lost in her phone. Minutes later, her video exploded. 100,000 views, 500,000, 1 million. Then suddenly, a message appeared from a private account: "I know your secret." That evening, Madame Oseji called her. "Come." Smiling, holding a tablet, she turned the screen toward Ifunanya. It was the video, the one she thought no one would see. Madame Oseji smiled softly. "You're a star, aren't you?" And in that moment, Ifunanya realized she was no longer in control. The girl in the photo looked exactly like Ifunanya, and that's when she realized she wasn't the first. Ifunanya couldn't breathe. Same face, same smile. This wasn't coincidence. She had replaced someone. She searched the phone again. More pictures, more videos. The girl lived the same life, posted the same content. Then suddenly, nothing, like she vanished. Fear took over. That night, Ifunanya packed her things quietly. Carefully, she ran toward the gate, but the gate wouldn't open. No guards, no sound, just silence. Then suddenly, the lights went out. A voice echoed in the darkness, calm, controlled. "Madame Oseji asked, leaving so soon?" The lights came back on. Ifunanya froze. 2 security men stood in front of her, and behind them, Madame Oseji smiled. Then she said something that changed everything. "You were chosen because you look exactly like her." Ifunanya tried to tell the truth, but this time, nobody believed her. Locked inside the luxury room, Ifunanya picked up her cracked phone. No filters, no lies. Ifunanya posted one last content: "Everything you saw was fake," she whispered. Then she hid the phone. Just before the door opened, that night, the mansion changed. A ballroom, masks, men watching. Ifunanya stood there like a prize. Then she heard it, beats. That's when it hit her. The girls were never fired, they were sold. She ran and found a hidden room, then froze. 3 girls. Same face. Same body. Same hair, just like her. She wasn't special, she was replaceable. She ran barefoot through the dark garden. Suddenly, floodlights snapped on, dogs barking. She didn't stop at the gate. The chief was waiting, holding her file. You lied to enter this life. Why cry now that the lie is real? Sign this or disappear. Days later, a video surfaced online, Ifenanya. Crying. Telling the truth, 10 million views, but the comments said, fake. Cloud chasing. Scripted. Nobody believed her, because in the end, not everything you see online is real, and when you fake your life for too long, even your truth starts to look like a lie. And that is the price of pretense.